Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Pipe Major Curtis LeBlanc. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. It's now my pleasure to call upon one of our dear friends, Mr. Patrick Kelly, to provide a traditional blessing for us today.
ACM, Siaya, Your Excellency, Your Honor, my pleasure to be invited to help you with this work today. Tasatsan tel squeech, to Lacamel. My ancestral name is Tasatsan, and I come from the community of Lacamel in the Stala Nation on the north side of the Fraser, in the Fraser Valley. I'd like to offer a song that comes from, given to us by the George family of Tsleil-Waututh, and it's also known as our Coast Salish anthem. O hilo, hilo, o ae, o hilo, hilo, o ae, o hilo, hilo, o ae, ae, ea, 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 o hilo, hilo, o ae, o hilo, hilo, ea, he, o hilo, hilo, ea, he, o hilo, hilo, ea, he, ae, ea, 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 he. Chichel Siem, Haichka. Creator, would ask your blessing for all those that are being recognized for the honorable work that they have done from the goodness of their hearts and their minds. Creator, we ask your blessing for all those of their families that have come to support them and have supported them always so that they can do what they do for us. Creator, we ask your blessing for those that are struggling, that they get the help that they need, that they may be well. Creator, we ask your blessing for those of Mother Earth that are helping to take care of our well-being. Creator, we ask your blessing for those that are struggling, that they get the help they need, that they may be well. Creator, we ask your blessing for these things.
Thank you so very, very much, Patrick. It's now my privilege to call upon Her Honor to deliver her remarks this afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. Honored medal recipients, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Julie Payette, Governor General of Canada, the Honourable Lois Mitchell, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, and His Honour, Honorary Colonel Douglas Mitchell, proud families and friends. Welcome to Government House. Bienvenue à notre maison cérémonielle de tous les Colombiens britanniques for this presentation of Canadian honours. I begin by acknowledging with respect the long history, the wisdom, and the culture of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples on whose traditional territory we celebrate today. And yes, again, thank you, Patrick Kelly, for that wonderful getting us started in such a good way. Today's ceremony is significant on so many levels. Customarily, in the past, Canadian honours have been presented at separate ceremonies, and often they were held at quite a distance from the home of those being honoured. I'm aware that there are those present today who have travelled not quite halfway across the country, but quite a distance to be here. But many of our honorees today are British Columbians. The combining of these ceremonies allows us all to celebrate with the diverse groups from our community who are being honored with the various medals. And it is truly awe-inspiring to witness the recognition of individuals who are the heart and soul of our communities. And it allows families also, families and friends, to be present for the ceremony and for local community to celebrate these honors. There's much to be said for closer to home. The people we honor today are individuals both in and out of uniform who find ways to smooth the road, open a door, and in some cases to wondrously save lives of others. The breadth of the accomplishments of today's honorees is all-encompassing, and in reading the citations, it becomes obvious that no matter in what sector you folks operated, sports, the arts, resource management, policing, or community care, you have all contributed to a safer, healthier, more caring, inclusive community. For these services, we say thank you. Thank you for the lives that you have saved and for those that you have improved. Thank you on behalf of all those in your communities for your energy and your commitment to that community, to your province and or your territory and to Canada. Thank you all for thank you for all that you have done, because you have helped to make this place a nation that we can be so proud to bequeath to the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I would now like to invite Her Excellency, the Governor General, to the podium. Excellence.
Mesdames et Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Monsieur Patrick Kelly, for your blessing this morning. And as I did last night, I would like to use the Algonquin language, which is the Aboriginal language, First Nation language of the Algonquins of Ottawa, where I now reside, to greet you as well in their language, beautiful language that we must preserve. It is such a pleasure, Your Honor, to be here today, to honor 46 very deserving Canadians, but also to have the chance to be here in front of you in this extraordinary place, Victoria, BC. I have been coming to British Columbia for a long time. I'm a Quebecer, but I know about the hidden jewels of British Columbia, the people, the sceneries, the sea, and the mountains. But today was an exceptional day. Actually, it's been an exceptional day since I've arrived. First, of course, you may have heard that back east, they're still in winter. But whereas here it is full spring blooming, it does rejoice and replenishes the soul. But coming here, seeing the scenery, the weather has been called upon, thank you again, Mr. Kelly, for intervening on this one. It is absolutely magnificent. But this morning I had the chance to go at sea, to meet some of our military personnel. I had the pleasure with my team to go on board frigate Regina with a full load of sailors, and they demonstrated the capability of the ship. And someone who is here, my new secretary, the secretary of the Office of the Governor General, Assunta de Lorenzo, who, like me, studied in a United World College, Pearson College. In her case, Atlantic College in my case, where we promote very much international understanding, collaboration amongst ourselves, à travailler ensemble pour pouvoir faire avancer le monde, réformer le monde et la paix dans le monde. Was asking, she was mentioning, well, military. And I say, well, that's exactly what we Canadians do. We do defense, we do protection, we do assistance, we do logistics, we do training, and most and foremost, our military personnel, especially those deployed, do ambassadorship for Canada. They wear the maple leaf on their sleeves, and they represent us all in an extraordinary fashion. Every single time they lend a hand, every single time they train other troops to look at a more inclusive, open, diverse, and effective way of doing things. They do us honor. And this was the opportunity I had this morning to do, and then to board submarine HMCS Chicoutimi, who was coming back from 200 days at sea. And the only thing I can say is that their quarters are barely bigger than those of a space shuttle. The difference, though, in a space shuttle is that we do get to see the magnificent view of planet Earth below. They are very valorous people, and we are honoring today equally extraordinary Canadians, and this indeed is very special. Today we are investing 1 member of the Order of Canada, 9 members of the Order of Merit of the Police Force, 17 recipients of meritorious service medals, 8 recipients of Bravery, 9 of the Polar Medal, my first time to have the chance to bestow a Polar Medal in this new function of mine, and 9 recipients of the Medal for Volunteers. Vous comprenez que ces médailles ne sont pas des petites médailles, ce sont des grandes médailles pour de grandes personnes. You've been selected through a very thorough selection process to recognize your outstanding contribution to your community, to your province, and to your country, and in some of you as well, to outside the country. That's what we are celebrating today, and don't be surprised. By the time you hear the citation for others that are here today, you will feel very humble, trust me, because it is extraordinarily touching stories that we will hear. One thing I will ask you, though, that getting this privilege, this honor, also comes with a bit of responsibility, and I hope that you will then look out in your communities and seek others like you that are making a difference by their actions and by their generosity and by their commitment, and that you will send us the names of these people so we can honor them as well. It's all about excellence and service. And talking about excellence and service, you may have heard that yesterday a new lieutenant governor for British Columbia was announced. But that means that the term for a lieutenant governor, Ms. Judith Guichon, is coming to an end after 5.5 years of exemplary, extraordinary, and generous service. Madame Guichon, I would like to tell you that we haven't met before. We met yesterday for the first time. But I can tell you that you are one of the most generous, the most engaging, and the most sympathique person I have ever had the pleasure to meet. And I would like everybody to please stand up and applaud you for everything you've done for this country and for British Columbia. Merci. You can imagine this is very bittersweet, isn't it? Without further ado, I will lastly say hello, thank you. Merci à toutes les personnes qui sont ici en soutien, des gens que nous allons honorer tout seuls, alone. We cannot do anything. And our success is only great when we can share it with our loved ones and the people we care for. Bonne célébration à tous. À tout de suite. Merci.
Merci, Excellence. Thank you so much. I'm now happy to call upon our Director of Ceremonies today, Ms. Sasha Richard.
We begin this ceremony with the investiture of a new member into the Order of Canada. Established in 1967, the Order of Canada is the centerpiece of our honors system, recognizing individuals for outstanding achievement, dedication to the community, and service to the nation. L'Ordre du Canada reconnaît des réalisations exceptionnelles, le dévouement remarquable d'une personne envers la communauté ou une contribution extraordinaire à la nation. To receive the insignia of member of the Order of Canada, Catherine Shields. Catherine Shields is a legend in Canadian women's basketball. A gifted international athlete, she gained further renown for her accomplishments as a coach of our national team. Concurrently, as head of the women's varsity team at the University of Victoria, she achieved unrivaled success, winning numerous national championships. Fellow athletes cite her influence in increasing their confidence, skill, and focus, both off and on the court. She is also committed to advancing women in coaching. Her outspoken advocacy has led to greater female leadership in the sport. Ms. Shields. We will proceed with the investiture of new members into the Order of Merit of the Police Forces, which honors the leadership, exceptional service, and distinctive merit displayed by men and women of the Canadian Police Services. L'Ordre du Mérite des Corps policiers rend hommage au service méritoire exemplaire et au leadership d'hommes et de femmes des services de police canadiens. To receive the insignia of Commander of the Order of Merit of the Police Forces, Deputy Commissioner Craig Callens. Deputy Commissioner Callens has been a distinguished member of the RCMP for over 30 years. His leadership in police operations, human resource management, and community engagement has contributed to cultural change and to a more respectful workplace within the RCMP. Deputy Commissioner Callens. To receive the insignia of Officer of the Order of Merit of the Police Forces, Assistant Commissioner James Richard Douglas Gresham. Assistant Commissioner Gresham has served with the RCMP for over 30 years. Responsible for the largest RCMP contract division in Canada, he has improved service standards, investigative models, and the health and safety of personnel. Assistant Commissioner Gresham. Chief Constable Anthony Adam Palmer. Chief Constable Palmer has been a member of the Vancouver Police Department for 30 years. He was the venue commander at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics and has been sought nationally and internationally for his expertise on policing large events. Chief Constable Palmer. To receive the insignia of Member of the Order of Merit of the Police Forces, Superintendent James Richard Faulkner. Superintendent Faulkner has been a member of the RCMP for over 30 years. He contributed to the development of an integrated major crime unit comprising his organization and the Victoria Police Department, leading to more effective policing. Superintendent Faulkner. Deputy Chief David Scott Green. Deputy Chief Green has served with Salish Police for over 25 years. He is involved in numerous policing committees, reviewing policing standards, policing funding models, and strategies to prevent violence against women. Deputy Chief Green. Corporal Brian Kerr. Corporal Brian Kerr has been a member of the Central Salish Police Service and of the RCMP for over 35 years. His investigative acumen, compassion, and tenacity has been commended by several Crown attorneys, mayors, and community educators. Corporal Kerr. Staff Sergeant David Lohr. Staff Sergeant Darren Lohr has served as a member of the Victoria Police Department for over 25 years before retiring in March 2016. His project on body-worn video was the first evidence-based study of police technology in Canada. His research led to significant changes in the way information would be shared in future policing technology. Staff Sergeant Lohr. Superintendent Gary Joseph Ladier. Superintendent Ladier has been a member of the RCMP for 30 years. As the officer in charge of the Integrated Forensic Identification Services, he has developed innovative responses to improve the unit's investigational results. Superintendent Ladier. Superintendent Ward Clay Limburner. Superintendent Limburner has been a member of the RCMP for over 25 years. He is highly proficient in investigative software and has been deemed an expert by the Supreme Court of British Columbia in DNA warrant and evidence collection. Superintendent Limburner. We now continue with the presentation of the Meritorious Service Decorations in the Civil Division, which recognize individuals who have made remarkable contributions in many different fields of endeavor. Les décorations pour services méritoires ont été créées pour reconnaître des gens qui ont accompli des actions exceptionnelles ou des réalisations remarquables. To receive the Meritorious Service Cross, Ron Abrahams and Sarah Payne. Physician Ron Abrahams and midwife Sarah Payne created a new model of healthcare for substance-using women and their drug-exposed newborns. As the driving force behind the First Square Combined Care Unit at BC Women's Hospital and Health Centre, they introduced a holistic, compassionate approach where mothers room with their infants while receiving medical care, addiction counseling, parenting education, and help finding housing. Dr. Abrahams. Mrs. Payne. Charlene Bellew. Chief Charlene Bellew is a catalyst for change in her home community of Escatem First Nation, as well as across the country. An advocate for improved health and social programs, a supporter of residential school survivors and of reconciliation, and a leader in the campaign to end violence against women, she is dedicated to community healing and to building respectful relationships. Chief Bellew. Judy Graves. Judy Graves designed and led the Vancouver Homeless Outreach Project, a program that helps homeless individuals secure a regular source of income and stable housing. Her model, based on compassion and respect, has changed how communities across the province approach homelessness and is the culmination of 30 years spent helping people living on the street to rebuild their lives. Ms. Graves. To receive the Meritorious Service Medal, Laurent Brisebois et Émilie Bureau. Laurent Brisebois et Émilie Bureau sont les instigateurs de la Grande Traversée, un relais cycliste pan-canadien incitant les étudiants de niveau secondaire à adopter de saines habitudes de vie, tout en leur faisant vivre une expérience unique de dépassement de soi. Ce défi sportif participe à la formation d'une jeunesse active, déterminée et engagée, en plus d'enrichir les liens entre les différentes commissions scolaires francophones du pays. Monsieur Brisebois. Madame Bureau. Sherry Elizabeth Davidson. In 1986, Sherry Davidson founded Island Heart to Heart, an innovative education and support program for cardiac patients and their families. Its holistic approach incorporates nutrition, physical activity, stress management, and information about medications and mental health into a program for participants recovering from vascular diseases. Her model has been adopted as the standard of care for patients across Canada's West Coast. Mrs. Davidson. Barbara Finley. Barbara Finley created Project Cook Healthy Edible Food, or CHEF, in partnership with the Vancouver School Board to promote healthy eating habits among children by teaching them where food comes from and the pleasure of sharing it around the table. With infectious enthusiasm, she has helped thousands of students experience the satisfaction of working together to prepare fresh meals, gain confidence in the kitchen, and learn about healthy food choices. Mrs. Finley. Myrna Margaret Forster. Historian and author Myrna Forster launched a successful campaign to include images of notable Canadian women on our banknotes through an online petition and a website where viewers could suggest worthy candidates. The publicity she generated resulted in rights activist Viola Desmond being chosen to appear on the $10 bill and an increased appreciation for the many other heroines in our nation's history. Mrs. Forster. Retired Detective Constable Christopher Graham. Retired Vancouver Police Detective Constable Christopher Graham created a program for young hockey players to learn about the dangers of drugs and crime. Participants tour Vancouver's downtown east side, where they witness firsthand the effects of substance abuse and gang-related activities. In their home communities, the teens visit school classes to describe what they have learned about life on the streets, aiming to inspire young people to make positive lifestyle choices. Detective Constable Graham. David Granamyr. Comedian David Granamyr founded Stand Up for Mental Health to empower individuals to confront their mental health issues through stand-up comedy. From Halifax to Victoria, as well as in Australia and the United States, Stand Up for Mental Health has helped thousands of individuals come to terms with their issues, improve their lives, and combat the stigma surrounding mental health. Mr. Granamyr. Karen Joseph. Karen Joseph founded Reconciliation Canada to promote meaningful dialogue between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Canadians about our shared past and ultimately to build a unified nation. Her grassroots initiatives included Vancouver's Walk for Reconciliation, history courses on residential schools for use by local school boards, and workshops for multicultural communities, all with the aim of forging a path towards reconciliation. Mrs. Joseph. Jim Mickey. While working for Fisheries and Oceans Canada, Jim Mickey spearheaded a restorative justice program to deal with conflicts related to fisheries and wildlife infractions. Working outside the court system, he involved the community in addressing violations using traditional notions of respect and accountability. This innovative model has been successfully used to reduce repeat offenses and improve the department's relationship with Indigenous communities. Officer Mickey. Brenda Montani and Patrick Montani. Brenda and Patrick Montani created Bicycles for Humanity, a volunteer organization that delivers used bicycles to Africa. The bicycles are used as a means of transportation as well as a way of improving quality of life in the community. In addition, the organization has trained local volunteers in bicycle maintenance. Mrs. Montani. Mr. Montani. Carrie Newman, Hayal Kingame. Artist Carrie Newman created the Witness Blanket as part of the ongoing reconciliation process between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. Woven into this 2 by 13 meter structure are old doors, shoes, children's drawings, and other artifacts collected from residential schools and their former students. The exhibit has traveled throughout the country, eliciting emotional responses from survivors and promoting a shared understanding of Canada's past. Mr. Newman. Constable Doug Spencer. Vancouver Police Department Constable Doug Spencer was instrumental in creating a stirring and graphic presentation called The Truth About Gangs that emphasizes the violent consequences of organized criminal activity. A member of the Odd Squad Production Society, he delivers his blunt message about the dangers of gangs to thousands of parents, educators, and teens. Constable Spencer. We will now proceed with the presentation of Bravery Decorations, which recognize people who have risked their own lives to save or protect others. Les décorations pour actes de bravoure rendent hommage aux personnes qui ont risqué leur vie pour essayer de sauver ou de protéger une autre personne. To receive a Medal of Bravery, Jürgen Baetzel, Brent Hanna, Paul Heidson, Tobias McDonald. On August 20th, 2014, Jürgen Baetzel, Paul Heinzen, Tobias McDonald, Carol Van Roombeek, and firefighter Brant Hanna pulled two individuals from a burning plane that had crashed in Crawford Bay, British Columbia. The small aircraft burst into flames on impact. Despite the rapidly escalating fire, the rescuers worked together to successfully free the victims from the wreckage minutes before an explosion occurred. Sadly, one of the victims did not survive. The Medal of Bravery awarded to Mrs. Van Rumbeek will be presented to her at a future ceremony. Mr. Baetzel. Mr. Hanna. Mr. Heinzen. Mr. McDonald. Constable Craig Baker, Constable Paul Frederick Hickaway. On January 3rd, 2014, Constable Craig Barker and Paul Hickaway of the Victoria Police Department entered a burning house to search for tenants. As the blaze was spreading, Constable Hickaway ran beneath the burning deck and forced his way inside, with Constable Barker close behind him. Despite the heavy smoke and intense heat, the officers conducted a thorough search of the residence, confirming it was empty before exiting to safety. Constable Barker. Constable Hickaway. Jansen Chapman. On March 6, 2017, Jansen Chapman rescued his friend who had fallen into Frigid Falls near Gold River, British Columbia. After finding his injured friend clinging to a log at the edge of the cascade, he ventured out onto the icy ledge and threw her his jacket. As he attempted to pull her to safety, the jacket started to rip. Despite his precarious position, he inched closer to the victim, lifted her onto his back, carried her for another 40 minutes until he reached his car and drove her to the nearest hospital. Mr. Chapman. Gregory James Swan. On July 18, 2015, off-duty firefighter Gregory Swan rescued a man from his burning vehicle near Medford, Oregon. The car had crashed into a tree on the side of a highway and burst into flames, trapping the driver inside. Enveloped by heavy smoke, Mr. Swan used a fire extinguisher on the blaze before he attempted to free the victim with the help of bystanders. The fire flared up again, but after dousing it a second time, Mr. Swan was able to pull the victim from the vehicle and move him to safety. Mr. Swan. We continue with the presentation of the Polar Medal, which celebrates Canada's northern heritage and recognizes persons who render extraordinary services in the polar regions and in Canada's north. La médaille polaire célèbre l'héritage nordique du Canada et reconnaît des individus qui rendent des services extraordinaires dans les régions polaires et le nord du Canada. Recipient of the Polar Medal, Sister Faye Trombley. Sister Trombley collaborated with local community leaders and built a partnership with the Society of St. Vincent de Paul to address food insecurity in Tuktoyaktuk. By reinvigorating the food and clothing distribution center, she demonstrated remarkable determination and leadership. The success of this partnership has become a blueprint for multiple northern communities similarly struggling with food insecurity. Sister Trombley. We conclude this ceremony with the presentation of the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers, which recognizes volunteer achievements of Canadians from across the country in a wide range of fields. La médaille du souverain pour les bénévoles reconnaît les réalisations bénévoles exceptionnelles de Canadiens dans un large éventail de domaines. Recipients of the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers, récipiendaires de la médaille du souverain pour les bénévoles. Liliane Barnabé. Depuis sa retraite à titre d'infirmière, Liliane Barnabé compte maintenant à son actif plus de 22 ans de bénévolat à l'hôpital de Saint-Boniface. Elle y accueille d'innombrables visiteurs, patients et membres de leur famille qui trouvent auprès d'elle du réconfort et des conseils informels. Elle a aussi contribué au succès de la galerie Bueller de l'hôpital, où ont lieu des expositions et performances artistiques. Madame Barnabé. Christine Beaumont. Christine Beaumont a contribué à la vitalité de la communauté franco-manitobaine en tant qu'ancienne présidente de Francofonds, fondation qui finance de nombreux projets et initiatives de développement économique. Récemment, elle a co-lancé un programme, Tailored for Success, qui fournit des vêtements et des accessoires à des gens défavorisés qui cherchent à intégrer le marché du travail ou à se préparer pour un programme de formation. Madame Beaumont. Marielle Demoret. Nommée femme du siècle en 2014 par l'Alliance des femmes de la francophonie canadienne, Marielle Demoret est au service de la communauté depuis plus de 40 ans. Bénévole active et fondatrice de multiples organismes tels que l'Association francophone de Richmond, elle s'emploie à promouvoir et à préserver la culture et la langue française dans l'Ouest canadien. Madame Demoret. Jess Hansen. Over the past 10 years, Jess Hansen has volunteered with the Northwest Therapeutic Riding Association, providing therapeutic riding to persons with developmental, physical, and psychological disabilities. Mr. Hansen. David Kimpton. For more than 50 years, David Kimpton has given unselfishly of his time in order to improve the quality of life for those around him, notably as a parishioner, a driver for Meals on Wheels, and as a volunteer board member with Kerr, BC. Mr. Kimpton. Bernard Lafrance. Bernard Lafrance volunteers at his church by helping with building and grounds maintenance. He's dedicated to serving his congregation, whether by transporting donated food to the local food banks or by driving fellow parishioners to and from church. Mr. Lafrance. Phillip Thomas Lot. Tom Lot has served in a number of positions with the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 54, most recently as chair of the Poppy Campaign. He is involved in his church and with various community initiatives, and is also a volunteer driver for Cancer Drive, which transports patients to and from appointments in the region. Mr. Lot. Chantal Mall. Chantal Mall has volunteered with the Heart and Stroke Foundations since 2010 and is a compassionate and dedicated advocate for cardiovascular research, education, and prevention. As an ambassador, she represents the foundation at cardiovascular congresses and is a much-anticipated speaker at the foundation's health partner events. Mrs. Mall. Margaret Monroe. For decades, Marge Monroe has volunteered with the Salt Springs Senior Services Society, where she has established a caregiver support group that looks after Alzheimer's patients. She also volunteers with 2 other organizations focused on seniors. Mrs. Monroe. Please join me in congratulating today's recipients. I would now invite Her Excellency to offer closing remarks. Excellency.
because this is the house of the Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, and that you have had the pleasure and the chance to be accompanied for 5.5 years by a remarkable person, I would like to let Her Honor, Madame Judith Guichon, to offer the closing remarks. Madame.
Those of you who know me know that without written words, I'm usually speechless. But today, I have to say, although my bags have been half packed since November and I've been waiting to hear, I am so grateful that I was here today to take part in this extraordinary service and to have spent the time with Her Excellency. And there was quite a few among the honorees today who I have previously had the privilege of spending time with. So it's been an extraordinary event for me, and I am so grateful that I was still here. And as you've heard the stories, you know, we are so fortunate in Canada. We live in a very special place where people still look after their neighbors, and that's what makes Canada so special and admired around the world. So thank you to all today's honorees for once again making us so proud and so privileged to be Canadians. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, the ceremony will conclude with the singing of the national anthem by the Victoria Conservatory of Music students, with soprano Miss Annalisa Tyler, who will be accompanied by Miss Amber Dayton at the piano. Mesdames et messieurs, dans quelques instants, cette cérémonie se terminera par l'interprétation de l'hymne national par le Victoria Conservatory of Music students, avec la soprano Mademoiselle Annalisa Tyler, accompagnée au piano par Mademoiselle Amber Dayton. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate these great Canadians. And now, please rise for the singing of the national anthem and remain standing for the departure of Her Excellency and Her Honor.
Please again join us in thanking Ms. Tyler and Ms. Dayton. Wasn't that lovely? Oh, thank you. And thank you again, everyone, so much for coming and joining in the special celebration for these richly deserving recipients. That concludes the formalities today, ladies and gentlemen. In just a couple of moments, we'll open the reception in the dining room and the bars open at the back. Please enjoy yourself, and thank you for coming.